GLP-1s, are they the new magic drug for addiction? Let's find out. Today I want to talk about GLP-1 inhibitors and why they might be the new exciting addiction drug. So GLP-1 inhibitors, they're the cool drug right now. And we do this with drugs. We fall in love with them and everyone thinks they can do everything. And then inevitably we turn on them and everyone thinks they're evil. And then we end up finding our middle ground. It's a well-known curve with drugs. It happened with statins, and you had cardiologists in the 90s and noughties saying stuff like statins should be in the drinking water. And then in the teens, we thought, statins hurt everyone's muscles and they're a devil drug. And now we realize they're a decent drug. They cause some side effects in some people. They definitely shouldn't be in the drinking water, but they should be prescribed for people that need them. And I want to say with GLP-1s, we're right in that first stage. We think these drugs are amazing, and you can find on the internet people saying all sorts of wonderful things. These drugs are the magical cure we've all been waiting for. Having said that, there is exciting news with GLP-1s and addiction. And by GLP-1s, I realize I should have been saying this is Ozempic, Mounjaro, so that's semaglutide, tirzepatide, and lots of new exciting ones coming out. So with addiction, there is evidence that GLP-1s mess with our reward circuitry. Now, our reward circuitry people often think is about pleasure. It's actually about wanting. How do we want things? And there's a lot of GLP-1 receptors in our VTA or our NA, our nucleus accumbens, our ventral tegmental area. This is where our sort of reward system is prime. This is where we want things. And GLP-1s mess with our dopamine firing in those sort of areas. And that results in less cues to wanting to drink alcohol or possibly wanting to use other drugs. The most evidence we have right now is in wanting to drink alcohol. So initially, when we noticed this, they were looking at observational studies of people that were widely prescribed GLP-1s for their diabetes, and they noticed, these heavy drinking days are reducing in this population. And they thought, alcohol's very calorific. It must just be that. Just must be that they don't want to drink as many calories, and thus that's it. But it's not it. We've demonstrated that it's not about feeling full. It's about not wanting to engage in addictive behavior. And that is really interesting because potentially then we could use it across drugs. So the next step was looking at RCT, so controlled trials where you looked at GLP-1s and looked at their effect on substance use and alcohol use. And the early studies from that, it's a bit mixed. There's one study that's showing that they work pretty excitingly, another study that's showing that maybe they don't work as well. What we're seeing really is that they're probably not the best for complete abstinence, for reducing cravings in that manner, but they are probably amazing for reducing heavy drinking days. So instead of having 20 drinks, you're going to have 6 or 7 drinks. And that's huge if you're someone who's struggling to drink so much. So really, really exciting stuff, but really, really early evidence stuff. So I think the key thing, and this is what's really important when you hear stuff on the internet, some strange doctor in Australia telling you things, this is not first line. This is not something that if I have an alcohol use disorder, I need to be rushing to my doctor to get involved in. This is there because there are medications that we've talked about before on the show. Naltrexone and camsate with robust evidence base. Really, we can hang our hat. This helps people with alcohol use disorder. But we know a lot of people with alcohol use disorder are on those medications and they're still drinking. They're looking for an extra edge. And that is possibly where we're going to be seeing GLP-1s coming into clinical practice over the next months to years. I know some people really already widely prescribe them. So it's an exciting, exciting time for addiction. I mentioned before other substances. There is in animal studies, in nicotine, opioids, cannabis, a similar evidence, which is really, really exciting because when we talk about drugs for addictions, we usually talk about specific substances. So naltrexone's got evidence and specifically helping alcohol and maybe a bit of gambling. And obviously buprenorphine's got evidence for opioids, but not really anything else. So this is a drug that will have evidence across all addictions because it's really affecting our reward learning, our center, our area of our brain that's the wanting area of our brain. That's the very area of our brain that's most affected by addiction. So this is a real opportunity for a cross-addiction drug. It's really, really exciting. And so definitely watch this space because we could be on the verge of something really exciting.